So, what's it gonna be? Ant-Man.
Ant-Man 3, or Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Jesus, that's such a long title, but whatever. The latest and surprisingly divisive entry from Marvel Studios. Frankly, I'm a little surprised with the low critical scores here, but high audience enjoyment. A lot of people were joking that it was as bad as Eternals, and while I don't think it's that bad personally, but let me get into why. This is going to be a long one. Ant-Man Quantumania is the third film in the Ant-Man side of the Avengers trilogy and the start to the new Marvel saga. It has the heavy duty of being the first film to showcase the new Thanos-level big bad Kang the Conqueror in all his glory, something the Loki show wasn't able to do. Ant-Man is a weird choice for that, as he's always typically been a smaller stakes kind of hero. His past two films have been superhero heist movies with insane set pieces like throwing giant salt shakers or using a truck to skateboard down a city road. Here it does feature a little bit of a heist, but it's way more focused on a war story, trying to juggle with end of the world kind of stakes while also trying to juggle keeping a family of 5 interesting for a whole 2 hours. And it kind of succeeds. This takes place in the world after Avengers Endgame and the blip, as they call it, where Ant-Man was trapped in the quantum realm and his entire family was dusted by Thanos. His daughter Cassie was the only one not to be dusted, and now she's a young adult trying to fight for her beliefs while Ant-Man, aka Scott Lang, played again by Paul Rudd, tries to relax a little after saving the world and spending time with his daughter and... are they married? Did they get married? I can't remember. His girlfriend, Hope, and her family / his mentors. Everything changes when Cassie reveals that she made a satellite to learn more about and explore the quantum realm, which really upsets Michelle Pfeiffer's character, Janet Van Dyne, before it all goes wrong, and they're sucked down into the quantum realm to meet the latest threat, Kang the Conqueror, and try to get home. Like I said before, much bigger stakes here, and on one hand, that doesn't really work with Ant-Man and what his previous films have been about. On the other hand, trying something new and taking a risk is admirable and certainly needed in the current Marvel sphere. And using a popular side character to introduce a new big threat that everyone will face coming up is an interesting idea, and I think it plays off relatively well. This movie does stumble here or there, a few times more than it soars, but it's never boring or flat out bad. The action set pieces are great, if not a little fast. The acting is extremely solid, and I like how they explore more of Cassie's character, setting her up for the young Avengers we all know is coming, and diving deeper into Michelle Pfeiffer's character. Janet Van Dyne has never been a big focal point in the movies until now, but now you get to see what exactly she was doing down in the quantum realm for so long. What's her connection to Kang? And she kinda turns into a badass. Janet Van Dyne all the way. I actually really like this character. Also, wow, props to Jonathan Majors as Kang. He finally gets to show his acting chops in this, and he is incredible. Powerful yet quiet, insane yet composed until he blows up later. His powers look awesome. He feels like a very real threat, and knowing just how varied he's going to become in the next few movies has me excited to see more of him. Seriously, I can't get over how good he is in this role. Other surprises include the introduction to MCU's version of MODOK, and oh man, he is either going to crack you up or leave you severely disappointed. He's a threat, but more of a joke, and I just don't think there's any way to make him seem serious at all in these live action movies. His design is just way too goofy. I'm not going to spoil anything, but oh, the effects for him do not look good. They're really bad. And again, that's the joke, but oh no. That's kind of a running theme in this film, actually. Some effects look amazing, or are so wildly creative it doesn't matter if they look bad, but others look pretty bad. There's a scene you see in the trailer with multiple Ant-Men running around. That's a cool idea. That's neat, and what they do with it is really interesting. I wish it was longer, but still. It doesn't look great though, but it's still very imaginative. And speaking of imaginative, this world Oh, the quantum realm is astounding. It reminds me so much of Strange World, but it's explored more. Characters interact with people who live there. The world is given all these little details that help to flesh it out. I want to know how it works. I want to know where these people come from. We don't spend nearly as long as I would have liked just exploring this world, but I hope to return to it at some point. Also, the pacing when first introducing this new quantum realm is very odd and confusing, and certain events and plot points just really don't make sense just from the get-go. It kind of meshes together later on, but at the start, it is a mess. Like, somehow Scott and Cassie are separated off-screen during a scene transition, and later there's a magic ooze that acts like a universal translator. It's bizarre. The movie doesn't care to explain it and just kind of expects you to accept it and move on. And that does bug me, but it doesn't get in the way of enjoying the film, I guess. There are a few other off decisions too, and the jokes don't always land. They aren't the obvious quote-unquote Marvel jokes like the Thor movies might have. I think that's more so because of Taika Waititi as that director, but whatever. The jokes in Ant-Man are still very hit or miss. Not annoying, but they're not great. I'm excited to see more with Ant-Man and in the Avengers in general, especially with the 2 post-credits scenes teasing way more projects and way more Kang. Oh, also, very weird casting decisions I gotta talk about that kind of bugged me as well. Cassie's original actress, Emma Furman, was recast without telling her. She had to find out on Twitter, which, is a shitty thing to do and happens quite a lot in the film industry. What sucks. I hate seeing that. Cassie's new actress, Katherine Newton, does a fantastic job with the character, and it's not her fault that all this happened, but it's just a weird decision. But I like Katherine Newton, I like what she does, so I'm looking forward to seeing more of Cassie. Maybe they can set it up for a multiverse thing. Marvel's clearly diving into the multiverse saga here, so maybe they're going to use Emma Furman as, an alternate universe Cassie. I don't know. I think that'd kind of be stupid, but who knows? The large cast in this movie really didn't help the story that much. I don't think that this movie is as confusing and stretched thin a mess as Eternals was, given that huge cast, but it also didn't help that because the focus was on Janet and Cassie and, Scott Lang by proxy, Michael Douglas and Evangeline Lilly's characters kind of got shoved to the sideline, not really doing much of anything in the film. They were there and helped out here or there, but otherwise they could have been completely cut out. They were very much side characters in this movie, which is hilarious given that, Evangeline Lilly's character, the Wasp, shares a title, but whatever. They were there and helped out here or there, but otherwise could have been completely cut. Maybe they could have been incorporated a bit more, but I really don't know. This movie ultimately boils down to a bit of a mixed bag. It has fun ideas, but is so wildly varied in execution that it's very hard to score. Acting is generally superb, and the story is meh. Kang and the world are fantastic, but just not explored quite enough. If I were to improve it, I might make it a little longer, maybe by 15 or 30 minutes to explore this world a little more, give Michael Douglas and Evangeline Lilly something to do besides hopping in to help out or offer a quip here or there. But as it stands, it's a fine movie. It's alright, it's fun, it's entertaining. I'm enjoying remembering it a lot, and if it comes on TV, I might just watch it idly because, it's still fun. I think it's worth a watch. Just go in understanding that this isn't like the previous Ant-Man movies, and it might be closer to, say, Spider-Man No Way Home in execution a little bit. Ultimately, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around for another one. Oh my god, how many Marvel movies have I done now? Yeah, I watched them. I don't really consider myself a Marvel nerd, but I enjoy these movies and they're fun. Ant-Man has always been a little off, and his movies don't come out maybe as fast as everyone else's, but I like Paul Rudd. I like all of these actors. I think they're all fine, and it's nice to have superhero movies with smaller stakes. Like, the first 2 Spider-Man movies have relatively smaller stakes, and they were really, really good. And then here we go with the 3rd movie, where you gotta ramp everything up to 11, and I don't know. I can understand it, and I can appreciate the risk involved, but it's also kind of annoying to have that kind of tonal jump, I still think it's enjoyable. I think maybe it needed to be a little conveyed. Oh, and also, I didn't mention this, the trailer lies to you, which is bizarre. This trailer has has Ant-Man and Kang, with Kang saying like, oh, I can give you time, and making it seem like he's gonna send Scott Lang back in time to be with Cassie. But no, that's never a conversation. That's never a thing in this film. It's bizarre that the trailers adjusted the audio for that. I don't understand. That's weird. I don't get it. Baffling decision. I don't know. But otherwise, just go in knowing that that's not a part of it and that this is a larger stakes movie than the typical Ant-Man flair. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know about it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, ring that bell so you don't miss a video. And don't forget to like this, please. Really helps me grow. And that's it. Have a great day. And if you're not, have a better one. See ya.
I'm just a ghost in your stereo. The fading memory of a shipwreck in the undertow. You're just a lost song.